cuando sirve. Nada más dan tiempo para trabajar. Pero y aquí se construye a jugar. Pero
También ya grande.
ahí está más grande, como no.
Sí, viene.
También tenemos la niñita de nosotros.
Sí. Allá en
Como
Oaxaca.
ahí está, pero no quiere jugar.
No, no quiero jugar.
Sale mucha agua aquí por abajo, Mira, un poquito por aquí. Por este lado. Sí, veo más aquí. Pero aquí está más, ¿verdad? Más que antes.
Sí.
Estaba antes una gotita, pero
Y
ya.
acá también abajo, pero ahorita ya.
I think the cornfield though, it's nice. Ya en esos días se casó una muchacha de...
Okay, so let's just start explaining what this is.
All right, here in the village of Los Lobos, right on the border between the states of Jalisco and Nayarit in central Mexico, is this water project that you see behind me. What you're looking at is the tank that will be used to collect water.
Wait a second. Okay, let's start again. Okay, go ahead.
Here in the village of Los Lobos, right on the border between the states of Jalisco and Nayarit in central Mexico, is the water project that you see part of behind me. This is a water tank. It may look like a building, but it's actually a large water tank built by the gentleman and others who you see in the picture. And this project has been underway now for about 3 years, I would say. Very slowly it's been progressing because these families, these men in this village have a lot of hard work to do just to survive. The tank here will be used to collect water that's flowing by gravity through a small half-inch plastic pipe from about 1 kilometer away. And this water flows at the rate of about 3 liters a minute. Can't quite remember the mathematics, but it works out to a goodly number, 400 or 500 gallons a day, which is plenty for this community of about 10 families. Eventually this will all be piped out to the various homes or to spigots near the homes and to the school here, which is behind the camera. And we will see a tremendous rise in the standard of living here. We already are, in fact, because the water is piped down into town. This tank is just not quite completed and is not yet in service. The beauty of the thing here is that this work has all been completed by the people here in the village. We have approximately, if I recall right, $250 US in this entire project. And that was primarily assistance in the purchase of the plastic pipe, of which there's about 1 kilometer in the ground, and assistance for the cement and other things. The rock you see in the tank is native sandstone from the area. They carved it themselves, they dragged it here themselves, and they've done it. It's their project, and as such will serve for many years and be maintained and valued, whereas a present from the outside many times is not.
Okay, one quick question. Just look right at the door right there. Why are you doing this first one?
Well, that's an excellent question. It'll take me about a week to explain it, and you'll be out of batteries by then. I really enjoy development work. But I enjoy development work when it is operated in such a way that dependency isn't reinforced. As we laughingly say down here, a green Band-Aid, a dollar poultice, is not the answer. We must get our feet down here in the ground where these people's feet is located and work with them to see this work done. As such, it is very rewarding. I'm delighted to be here. Of course, I'm sponsored by a coalition of various groups, private and religious as well. But for me personally, I'm here because I enjoy it. I really like this kind of work an awful lot. As long as we're taking the people where we find them and assisting them to develop, as opposed to placing some big fancy present in the ground and coming back in another year or so, and it's nothing that could possibly be maintained.
What do you think about Big Aid versus smaller development projects?
Big Aid is great. I wish we had some of it around here. The problem is that Big Aid gets out of hand so fast that it's difficult to manage it in a way that we're able to do using smaller amounts of resources. For some reason, overhead costs just get completely unreal when we move into high dollar amounts, and effectiveness seems to drop. I don't know exactly why that happens. It just seems to. I guess when a person or a group of people gets a $3 or $10 million grant to do some great thing, then they kind of have a tendency to slack off. For some reason, we never have that temptation because we never have seen enough money to be ready to do that. I don't know if that answers your question. I hope it does. ¿Está bien? Muy bien. You're just going to pan back to me?
Yeah.
All right. No quieren tus fotos. All right.
Okay, you were talking about, you said, all this money goes to Big Aid, but actually these small projects seem to be a lot more effective.
Yeah, for some reason, it seems that Big Aid projects seem to get a lot of attention. It's the multi-million-dollar food to North Africa and various things that seem to get the big bucks. And I can't figure out why, but again, they seem to lose effectiveness, and it seems to me that it would be much more effective if we used some of those resources, at least, in much smaller projects and many more of them. The type of project where people actually have their feet in the dirt and are working with the local people.
Okay. When you said...
I'd like to hit that one good.
Okay.
Many people in my several years that I've been here have come through and have expressed the opinion that cultures need to be left to themselves, that growth and development will occur on a very leisurely pace based on the development of the culture within itself, and that we as Americans and as foreigners must stay uninvolved and just stay out of the way and let it happen. Unfortunately, I see a fallacy in the argument, and that is that development and growth is occurring. It is happening all around us. Within 2 days' walk of here, there's a road that's only about 10 years old, and there's a new one last year to another town very close to where we're standing. Growth is occurring. The question is, are we going to allow this growth and development to be paced by the salesmen of beer and soda pop the commercial world, or are we going to step in and guide it and attempt to see the best of the outside combined with the best of what's already here within the culture?
Good. Look at the camera a little too much.
Well, I keep glancing over there, and I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
There are those who have visited this area. Okay. There are those who have visited in this area in the last few years that I've been working here who have indicated to me that we would be a lot better off if we were to just allow the culture to develop and to grow on its own. And unfortunately, there's a fallacy in that argument, and that is that growth and development are taking place on their own. Within 2 days' walk of where we are presently standing is a road put through about 10 years ago. Several more were completed just during the past year out into here. Development, growth, the outside is encroaching on this pristine area of country. There's no way to avoid it. So the question is, are we going to allow this to occur haphazardly, pushed by the commercial interests, the beer and Coca-Cola trucks, or are we going to in some way guide this development and this growth so that we can have some effect on whether the worst from the outside combines with the worst from the inside, or the best gets together with the best, and therefore giving the culture here the best opportunity for the future that is available to it.
Yeah, that would be fun.
You like that better? Okay.
Okay, what else are we
What
talking
we missed. Dependency is something that we continually fight. Out here in the Sierra, just as we were walking up here, I was speaking. Yeah, nobody's in the picture. Yeah. Development, okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Development among the Huichol has been much hampered over the years by dependency. It's very difficult to stay on a medium ground between helping enough. Okay.
All right. Sorry.
Dependency.
Okay.
Dependency is a very real danger here in the Sierra Huichol. Much effort has been put into the development projects in this area in the last 10 or 15 years, and sometimes it seems that it is impossible to stay on the path of safety between training the people to be dependent and yet helping them. So often, anything that we provide, for instance, in the way of food, relieves them of the responsibility of having to go get it themselves. And so they become more lackadaisical. Sometimes it seems that there is no safe middle ground anywhere. We help a malnourished family, and we encourage that malnourished family to come back with their hand out again. So it's very difficult to know what to do, but the main thing, I think, the main answer to the problem lies in the area of attitude. Aid programs must be brought in with an eye toward the fact that the local people must be involved. The water tank that I mentioned a moment ago was, okay, well, you're doing how you edit that together, but...
Yeah, but sometimes... Go ahead. Look a little bit closer to me.
All right. The important thing about aid projects is that they be geared toward moving a people group toward independence and not toward continued dependence on supplies brought in from the outside or on technology, something beyond their reach. They must be able to move away from the aid into an independent life of their own.
Okay.
That's about the only thing that can be.
Go ahead.
I'm one of the few people from outside the mountainous area here who have the opportunity of visiting on a regular basis, and I really appreciate it. It's a great deal of challenge as well as very interesting to handle an airplane here around these mountains. Fascinating to have the opportunity of introducing people to this people, and also it's a tremendous educational process for me because I'm able to continually learn more about the culture, about the beauty of the ceremonies, about the real estate around here, and about the way of life that these people have developed over the years. I continually gain respect for the way that these people are able to carve a life out of these rugged mountains with as little rain as they do get. The aviation is a challenge. Of course, I enjoy working around airplanes. I very much appreciate what the airplane can do. It's certainly the difference between being able to get in here and accomplish something and not doing so. And so in that way, it's the key to this program. And personally, it's very rewarding to be involved in development work. But then again, you know, one has to be aware of the downside of it. There's a lot of challenges out here, and we like to think we're meeting them with some degree of success. Sometimes it seems there are no answers, but we're continually looking.
Well, I brought you Jackson 1 gallon again. Oh, that's it. You need a hand with your stuff?
No, I got it.
One of these kids will stop and wait for you.
Okay, great.